Hey, Susie, have you heard that the CRTC actually thinks that Rogers Cable Systems is protecting the interests of the community channel?
By closing 5 offices?
I know, it seems pretty crazy. But it must be even crazier to expect a reactive body like the CRTC to pass legislation to protect a public resource that they've already written off as not valuable. I mean, clearly, a concerned group of citizens have to lead the way with their own people's broadcasts.
Yeah, but doesn't that take years of schmoozing and zillions of dollars and a whole gamut of gizmos?
Not necessarily so, Suze, as this interview with legendary television pirate broadcaster Robert Kozinuk will surely prove.
Wow, that was dramatic.
I've been doing this for about 5 years now.
5 years.
Yeah.
And I guess everybody would like to know why. What's the purpose of this sort of behavior?
Well, it's because of media monopolies and information flow and all that kind of stuff that I find is so reprehensible about our modern society.
How do you figure a transmitter project like this is going to help to rectify these problems?
Well, I realize that the strength of the transmitters I use and the power of them just isn't going to cover the world. I'm not going to take over the world, and in a way, that's not what I want to do. All I want to do with all my work in this is make other people realize that they can affect the media, that they can be part of the solution instead of just being passive TV watchers. They can actually make TV. So I think that's kind of what you do at ICTV is trying to do that, and it's just a different way of enabling people.
How many channels are currently broadcasting in Vancouver right now?
How many are broadcasting, or how many are supposed to be broadcasting?
Both.
Well, right now, if you have a half-decent TV with rabbit ears or some kind of antenna that's just in your house and not attached to your roof, you can pick up I think like about 5 channels now. 4 or 5. There's the CBC, which is very strong, and there's 2 channels on that. Both the French and English channels are almost always available. BCTV is also very strong. And the latest addition to the Vancouver media landscape, VTV, is also on the air, which I found was kind of interesting because I was a little bit surprised that they were actually going on the air, since there is 95% cable coverage and that they would reach almost all their audience that way. They'll be reaching almost all their audience that way. So I was a little bit surprised that they were putting up they put up a really good transmitter. But also glad to see that the transmission hasn't been forgotten with other groups like UTV. UTV is supposed to be broadcasting on channel 12, but if you can tell me anyone in town who can actually get it, they're legally mandated. They've got a license to be broadcasting on that band. But because of 95% of their customers watch it on cable, they have completely dropped any interest in upkeeping their transmitters. So you can sometimes if I'm fiddle around with the antenna long enough, I get a ghost of an image, but that's it. They still are transmitting, but obviously their transmitter is in such ill repair that they aren't, and that's part of their license with the CRTC says that they will upkeep that. So in a way, I kind of feel they're not upkeeping their things with the CRTC.
So why do you think people have strayed away from over-the-air transmission? Is it just because that you don't have to pay for it? Is that what's so galling to people in the business?
People in the business or customers? I mean,
People in the business, the people who are actually sending out the signals.
Yeah, well, they can't get paid for it is a big thing why they're not interested in it. They can't get paid, whereas like Rogers gets paid for the for all the stations and advertisers that it carries, as well as all the customers that buy it. So they have it coming both ways. So. So yeah, giving something away free is just something that our corporate culture doesn't like the idea of.
Okay, here we go. Ready to strike a blow for democracy.
Okay, so we're about to turn on the Tetsuo transmitter, the fish plate or the dinner plate transmitter, TV transmitter that we use for the new ICTV station. So I'll just reach through here, grab the antenna cable. First of all, this is the antenna coming from the this is the cable coming from the antenna, and I'll hook that up first of all to our output of our transmitter. Tight. Next I have our Tyco video cam, which I'm going to be using for a source of entertainment, so plug that in here. Turn that on, and where's the light? There we go. So we're now have a video signal to send. So I'll plug that into our video, which will be very loud dog barking. And finally, in the final setup of our transmitter, I'll plug the power into the actual transmitter itself, which I'm just using this 12-volt battery. And we'll plug one side, and then we'll plug in the other side. And just like that, we're on the air, transmitting out of our new antenna.
Woohoo!
Seeing as I didn't bring a very long cable to run our little camera, the only thing that's available to view is to look out the cat window. And the cat window is jammed up now, so the cat can't come in and out. So the cat is stuck inside, and it's looking out. So let's get the TV and see if it works.